Oh, what a glorious day. A magnificent day. A day to take over the world, or dare I say, Baldur's Gate. Ladies and gentlemen, it begins. Welcome to me, TheXploder, and the playthrough that I've been waiting to do for ages. It's time for Baldur's Gate 3. You guys have been leaving your votes on episode 0, which I'm very thankful for. And we're going to get started with the game. Now, just so you know, I'm going to be skipping the CGI cutscenes at the very beginning, but we'll be playing them once they actually play out in the main game. But yes, your decisions have mattered, as today we will begin the playthrough. And first things first, it is time to start a new game. Starting off, we'll be on balanced. But depending on how the gameplay goes, if I'm finding it a little bit too easy, I'll easily up it to tactician. But we're going to see how we do this early on, because it's been a very long while since I last played the game. Before we get into character creation proper, I just want to say big shout out to anyone and everyone that did comment on episode 0, or has been sharing the love on any and all of my socials, new and old people alike, because this is my first proper playthrough or let's play in a very long time. Since I've done anything like this, and it's great seeing the support back, so thank you guys very much. A couple of ground rules before I get started on character creation. Number one, this is a modded playthrough. I do have mods. If you want me to go over the mods that I have at some point in the future, let me know. I can make a list of them, pull them out in the description below, or I can post them up on the Discord server so that you guys have a full plethora of knowledge of what mods that I'm running in this playthrough. On top of that, I did have a comment from one of you on episode 0 saying to not save scum. I was not planning on save scumming anyway. What's going to be happening is I'm going to have to live with my decisions, good or bad, and I will only ever reload a save if something goes wrong with recording and I need to go back, or I actually legit die or fail the game and I need to start from a previous save. Simple as that. We're just going to rock with it and see how we go. So for those who didn't tune into episode 0, and for you guys, don't worry about it. Thanks to your votes, this is what we are creating. We are doing a Dark Urge run. So big bad boy for storyline. Race-wise, I already said I'm going as a half-elf, but I did allow you guys to pick my sub-race, and by the looks of things, everyone's gone with Drow half-elf. So with the Drow half-elf, I'll have access to Dancing Lights at level 1, which is really nice. Class-wise, I did say I was going to start off as a bard, so we are going to bard it up. Starting cantrips. I personally, well, Vicious Mockery is a go-to. If you're playing a bard and not running Vicious Mockery, I don't know what you are. It's like a warlock without Eldritch Blast. Yes, that's controversial, but come on. It's a great spell, just use it. And now I have Dancing Light, so I don't need light. I think I'm just going to go... I'm tempted to go Mage Hand or True Strike. And I think I'm going to go Mage Hand. There are some very cheeky things I found out you can do with Mage Hand, so we'll give it a try. Spells. Love Me Healing Word and Dissonant Whispers. Those are like my two favourites. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is really fun. Heroism, not so much. What other options do we have, actually? It's been a while since I last did Bard. Oh, Bane? Hell yeah. Bane's great, if in case you didn't know. 3 creatures receive a -1d4 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws, which is very good. Requires concentration, but I have a way to bolster my concentration later on. Charm Person's handy, but I don't want to get it too early. Fairy Fire is cool. Colour Spray's alright. I'm not expecting to be thick and meat. Command. Command's going to be essential for some cheeky bits early on, and it's just really, really good for controlling the field of battle. I didn't have any comments from people saying, oh, what instrument does Zyron Vox normally play? Because this is based off of my very first D&D character called Zyron Vox. They're normally a half-elf or a wood half-elf. Would you believe it? Sorry, I just had to do a pun. But because of this playthrough we're doing with Drow, because I let you vote for it, normally he goes with a lute. That is Zyron's normal go-to weapon. However, we're doing Drow. I feel like a Drow wouldn't have a lute, and I don't think drum would suit the Drow playthrough, so I'm going to go flute. There's something about a half-elf drow playing the flute that is just causing you to go insane that I like the sound of. Will be the haunted one because we are doing the Dark Urge playthrough. And then ability points. I'm going to mess around with this a little bit, so we're going to max out our charisma and our dex. Then going to put, I think I'm going to put the majority of my points into constitution, and then 2 in wisdom, so that we don't roll bad on wisdom saving throws. The amount of time I have to roll wisdom saving throws is, well, it's quite high. I've learned that from my other D&D campaigns, so that's staying at 10. The others I'm not too worried about. Skill proficiencies. Let's have a look at these. Let me untick them first and we'll have a look. Now, the speech ones are actually pretty essential, so persuasion and performance definitely. I've already got intimidation. Deception as well. Now, ooh. Do I want performance? Performance is handy, but I'm already getting a +3. I'd rather bolster one of the ones that I might have a minus in. Or, well, I have stealth and sleight of hand already. That's really good. Perception is always pretty good. You know what? Perception's really handy. Spotting hidden details and all that jazz. The amount of perception checks in the game are pretty high, so it's good to have a good perception. So what we're going to do here is, I'm now going to edit Zyron's appearance. This will take a while, so this will either be sped up or removed in the post-edit version, but I'll be back with a brand new look. So this is how Zyron's going to look in this playthrough, which is much different to how I would normally have him looking. But hell, this is the Drow Zyron. This is someone completely different. So yes, it is not Dark Urge. We are playing as Zyron Vox. Now for Guardian. Now, Guardian I didn't get you guys to vote on. Because we're going to randomize it and see what happens. I'm going to either go with something that works really well, or we're going to go with something that looks really funky. That actually looks really cool, because here's my logic. Zyron Vox for half-elf drow is the evil version of Zyron, right? So it would be interesting if the evil version of Zyron has a relatively, like, good guy-looking guardian. And I like the scarring on the side of her face. The hair looks like very whimsical, looks like druidic. I can get behind this look. I actually really like this. Hell yeah. This is why I like the randomize button. The randomize button puts in the work. Brilliant, let's venture forth. We're ready. So like I said, we are going to skip the opening cutscene so that, I don't know, if anyone hasn't played the game up to this point, spoilers. But I don't know, if you want me to splice in the CGI cutscenes in the future, let me know. Let me know in the comments below whether you want them kept in or not. Whether you want my commentary over the top or you want it separate. Because, you know, I want to make this playthrough good for everyone. It's going to be fun for me because I'm playing the game.
The blood in your head thrums and pounds. That pounding blood obscures who you are. An overwhelming loss of memory. How you ended up amidst these hellish flames is just as hidden. You have nothing in your skull. Besides your name and a headache. But you are in danger.
So I love it. We are ready to begin. So, there is something that I'm going to be doing in this playthrough as well as a kind of mini challenge to myself. As a mini challenge to myself, I'm going to do my best to do voice acting for my MC. I will do my best to visualize a voice that I think works for my main character, and we'll see how it turns out, because Zyron, my normal Zyron Vox, is quite jolly, quite happy in himself. It's kind of like my regular voice, but this is the Drow one. And this is so we're letting you know, we're doing an evil playthrough, because you guys voted for it. So I've got to think of the more evil options for this Zyron, and how he would speak as a result. So I think we're going to go with take a deep breath, shake your head, and start anew.
Time to get out of here. And then you can shed light on the dark of the matter of yourself.
Oh yes. Very interesting. So yes, there's some of the mods coming in as well, doing their thing, so that's all good. Welcome to the ship! We are on the Nautilus. Ship owned and ran by Mind Flayers. Terrifying creatures in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Capable of psionic attacks and mental manipulation. But we're a bard, we're capable of mental manipulation of our own. And I'm going to be doing just that. First things first, it's time to have a look at the ship and try and pick out some early loot that we can just nick and grab. I will be interacting with as many things as I can remember in the game. It's been a while, but I haven't forgotten the majority of Act 1 I know like the back of my hand. However, the later parts of the game, I'm going to start forgetting things or not remembering to do certain things, or, quite frankly, not knowing where to go or what to interact with, because with this being an evil playthrough as well, I have no idea. I've never done an evil playthrough before in Baldur's Gate 3, and now, since we're playing the most up-to-date patch where we have a proper evil playthrough ending, woo, it's going to be interesting. Speaking of which, a couple of the mods that I've got a bag of holding. Some people say it's cheating, I say, come on, it's a bag of holding. I just want to hold my loot. Speaking of loot, I have a loot of musical sprites. I know I said I wasn't going to use a loot, and I probably still won't, but it's fair, just in case I want to use it. I also have a scroll summoning instrument chest, which, in fairness, I might actually cast that now on myself. Because I want to actually see if the instrument chest has a flute inside of it. Because if it does, that'll make me happy. Haunted instrument. Oh wow, haunted instruments, music sprites. I'm experiencing some of these mods for the first time. Annoying instruments. Let's go with haunted instruments, because that would make sense. Or violin of the dead. Do we have a flute of the dead? Flute of the dead. Haunted instrument, an instrument inhabited by an enigmatic entity with indiscernible intent. Musical conductor, use passive toggles to conduct instruments in and out of silence while performing music. Bloody siphon, performing music in combat creates an aura of bloody siphoning. It does give me AC +1 and saving throw +1, and advantage on performance checks, which is kinda mad. But it gives me perform with sprites, combat performance, and flute visuals. Ooh. Well, why not? Oh. Did I just throw it? What did I do with it? It was right here. It was right there! Bear with me. There we go. I've got a non-flute of the dead. So we can give this a try later on. Use concentration to perform music in combat. Not available out of combat. This is going to be pretty interesting to try out the flute of the dead. But first, let's touch this.
That thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
In fact, before we continue, I might need to up the audio a little bit, because I only turned it down for when I was chilling out with mates on Discord, so don't want the audio to be ruined for you guys at home. You know, we're doing it live. Look at the options. Shall we attempt our first -1 on investigation? Screw it, let's go. Do I get 10? Nope. Oh, drat. All I wanted to do was to check this darn pool. Now all I see is murk water.
You notice nothing more than meets the eye.
Transformers? No, it's not that kind. What a disgusting pool of wretched filth. I wonder what's in here. What? Oh, shit. Now, I did say I was going to attempt in voice acting, and didn't say I was going to do the best job in the world. But I'll try my best when the time comes. Pretty much done all we've got here. Door! Don't sphincterize me. Now, you may think there are some things I'm going to pick up, some things I'm not going to pick up. That's just me. It's just how I am. Get at me in the comments, I know. And yes, you can climb up here without having to do the lift. I just like taking the lift. It's a funky lift, so why not? And thus we begin with our first evil decision. Oh god. I'm not looking forward to doing this evil one. What is this, I wonder? Twitching?
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us. Please. Before they return. They return.
How the hell is this thing speaking to me? Who am I talking to? A man or a brain?
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the Mind Flayers who abducted you.
Minion of those demons. I think you're past the point of saving. Tell me what you want me to do.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Think about it for a moment. He could be useful. However, what use would I have for a brain? My own is significant. Die. So yeah, there are some decisions I will be making in the game for the first time, that included, and that was quite savage. Just so you know, I have kept on the option in the game for graphic content. If you are not a fan of graphic content, this includes blood, gore, you name it, be warned as we go through the game. I may have to censor certain things anyway, because of YouTube. Like, more so the nudity. I'm not too sure on what level the gore gets too much. But if it does get too much, I'm going to have to turn it off in the settings anyway, but we'll see. But now... What? A Githyanki.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Oh. My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
Now what made you think I was a fool?
We carry Mind Flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, Mind Flayers.
We are turning into Mind Flayers. There must be something we can do. No, that doesn't sound like the right thing the Zyron would say as a drow. Who are you?
Who am I? Your only chance of survival.
I like this woman. We need to figure out where we are.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
Disgusting little wretches. I will jump at the chance to wreak their minds. And thus our first bit of combat with Lae'zel the Githyanki. Okay, Zyron, we've got funky things we can do. And one of my favourite funky things to do is Vicious Mockery, so I will deal with your mind. Really? Of all the insults? I mean, I can dig it. I can dig it. Let's go an offhand strike. Not bad. Not bad.
I will ascend.
Lae'zel, you can just go in for the big smackers. Nice. Run towards the other one next. So if you're brand new to Baldur's Gate, I've played all the Baldur's Gate games in general over the years. This one's really great. Like, really, really well done. Cannot stop to fault Larian Studios on how beautiful this game is to play and to just go through and experience. The hard part with a game like this...
You proved surprisingly adequate.
Well, thank you, Lae'zel. The problem with a game like this is that it's so much fun
Light on my feet.
that I keep getting distracted very early on to just keep making a multitude of characters under the belief of, well, I want to experience it multiple times anyway. Let's just make a bunch of characters so I'm ready. And then I make a bunch of characters and I'm ready, and then I make too many characters and I'm never actually playing the game. I'm just making more and more characters out of my list of OCs. There you go, we'll top ourselves up at the restoration station. I will take some more of these as well. Now, as a half-elf, I do have some additional bonuses because of being half, so I get half the benefits of elf, half the benefits of human, which is pretty great. And I'm dual wielding rusty dags at the moment, which is fine. It's not a problem. Yes, I will get myself a ranged weapon, because that'll be handy. Lae'zel will also need one. I know she has the short bow that does 4 to 9, but give her the crossbow, now it's 2 to 9, and I'd rather she have that. Yeah, so I have 1d6 plus 1 piercing, and that's 1d8 plus 1 piercing, so, you know, light crossbows, what you gonna do?
I can do better, I must.
Now, I am gonna give Lae'zel a bunch of throwing stuff, because she's gonna be my main throwing girl. So I'm gonna chuck a bunch of stuff her way. Simple robes, I'm not worried about that. I am proficient in short swords, so you know what, just in case I do need to go into melee, I can have a short sword and a dagger for now. Am I sufficient? No, I'm not proficient in scimitars. I'm thinking of a different start. If I was a fighter, maybe, or maybe if I was full elf, maybe. I'm not too worried this early on. Right, let's move straight along. I'm not going to be voice acting every single section, just sections where I feel as if I can add something to the character as well and have a laugh. I do also currently have the game on low settings at the moment because I just wanted to make sure that the performance of the game ran smoothly, so if it looks a little bit crap in places, I can only apologise.
Assume nothing.
As the first recording session that I'm doing at the moment, it'll just look like this, but if I feel as if I can just up the graphics every little bit, I will definitely do that. I think I'll up it to medium anyway when we're off of the ship, just so we can have a nicer looking game after this point, but let's go. Can I read these? Nope. Nope. And nope. Okay, fantastic. Middle button? Oh no. Well, time to get smacking. Smish. Very nice, Lae'zel. That was beautiful. Oh god, he's still alive. Oh lord. Pommel? Smish? That works. That's more like it. There's me just casually walking away. It's like, attack of opportunity. Alright, alright. There you go. There's Vicious Mockery. Disadvantage on next attack roll, which is going to be very beneficial. And give him a stab. Ah, damn it. What you gonna do, boy? Haha, you missed! Haha! I don't. Moo-ha-ha, Mother Hubbard. Moo-ha-ha. There we go. We'll speak to Shadowheart in a moment.
Another step forward.
I've got other things to do first. I'm evil, can't you tell? I'm prioritizing everything else over you. Take the Dark Mind. There's a thing you can do with a Dark Mind later, and I've never done it. Never done it. So I might actually try doing a thing later on in the playthrough. We'll see. Oh, Lae'zel totally followed me.
How many are there?
I apologize. I'm just running around at the speed of sound, and Lae'zel's just been left behind. It's like, hello? I'm over here. Okay, grab the Slave Mind. Ah, we have a bunch of other stuff for mods over here, so we have a bunch of colours for the colour mod I've got. There's the actual instrument chest. I could have waited until now. The Mana Flare vessel, which is a pretty cool thing for the Mana Flare mods. I don't know whether I'm going to be using the Mana Flare mods or not, but I think it depends on how we end up building our comrades, because I did ask what you would like my buddies to effectively be multi-classed into or respect into once we hit a certain part of the game. So when that part happens, you'll see what has been voted upon, and well, we're gonna find out what happens. Oh, you know what, before I do this, let me out in a minute. I have priorities, woman. Can't you tell I'm trying to get my bearings? Picks up loot from a chest. Precious bearings. Yeah, I'm just going to dump these into a bag of holding for a moment, because I'm not going to need them. All the miscellaneous stuff or any of that, I'll just shove in there for now. Right, let's touch this.
The console appears dormant.
There's a socket in the console shaped like the rune I found. Let me insert it.
The console hums to life.
Good. Maybe I can take a closer look at this and work it out. Oh! First crit! First critical success of a game, and it's this early on. Let's go.
The pulsing glow and organic lines of the device make it seem more like a beating heart than a machine. Perhaps it will open the nearby pod.
Perhaps it will. Let's open this bad boy up.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. A parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
I might like this sensation in time. Open for me, pod. I mean, a 5's better than a 2. I'll take it.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Good. As much as I believe I can do this by myself, some assistance may be acquired. I'd rather these die instead of me.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a gift with you.
You keep dangerous company.
I like to live dangerously, and dangerous combat's what you need in a fight.
Fair point. Looks like there's plenty of fighting ahead. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
As much as I would like to say that I'm better on my own, I am using the GIF for my own purposes. Maybe this one would be useful too. Alright then, let's get going. I'm Zyron Vox.
Shadowheart. One moment.
If you're curious of any of my reasonings behind being evil, I may explain a lot more of my choices later on in the game. What was that?
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
So my reasoning for being goody-good-good with Shadowheart this early is straightforward. I can definitely see the evil version of Zyron being the kind of guy where he's not against not having allies, it's more along the idea of, how could I use these people for my own benefit? Sort of evil. This is Shadowheart, by the way, the half-elf cleric. In case you were wondering, Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter. Yes, Shadowheart is utilizing one of my mods. She is using the Protector's Psychogenic Mana Flare, which basically acts like a shield. But when a foe hits you or nearby ally with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to knock it prone unless they succeed a dex saving throw, and it grants resistance to psychic damage. It's pretty darn cool to have that instead. This is why I kind of like the Mana Flares,
Nothing
but
hurts anymore.
I don't know. Probably not on my main character, but on the side characters, and even Shadowheart, very interesting. Now here we go, last little bit of restoration here. Now, there is a thing we can do.
We are nearing the helm. Once
And we're going to find out that thing in a minute.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Ladies, please. Let's get off the ship first, then you can rip your own throats out. I'd like that. Anyway, so there's a thing we can do, and I want to do it before we do anything else. So I believe if we go to the spellbook for Shadowheart, we actually change out Shadowheart's spells before we go in. And I kind of want to do this because I don't like Shadowheart's starting stats, and I don't like her starting spells. As soon as I can respec Shadowheart, I'll be happy as Larry, but until then, I'm going to give her Healing Word, same as me. I'm going to give her Bane, same as me. Bless is amazing. And for the sake of this, we're going to give her Command. Now we have 2 characters with Command. Command.
Let's move.
I'm not going to cheese this. For those who have played Baldur's Gate 3, know what I'm probably going to try and do.
On my way.
I would like to mention, I am not doing this for the cheese. I am simply doing this to see if we can do it. If we can do this early on, I will be a very happy man. And I'm going to explain what we're going to try and do in just a moment, because there's a giant carry-on! Winged beings! And Mind Flayers! Sucky brain juice! I wonder what it tastes like. Must be like strawberry Capri Sun for the Mind Flayers. You just got imped, bro.
Thrall, connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
People need to stop messaging me on Steam when I'm doing recordings. And so we begin more battles. So there's a reason why we have Command. I'll explain that in a bit. First things first, though, we have enemies in front of us, and I kind of want to make them cry. So for you, have a laugh. And let's see if I can't stab you across the face. Nope. Well, it's begun at least. So the Mind Flayer is going to keep the carry-on busy. That's Commander Zolk in the back, by the way. Very big boy. Oh, sorry, he's a Cambion. I do get his race mixed up. Big stats, we are not fighting him. For God's sake, no, we are not doing that. Instead, we'll be punching a hole through these Wazzocks instead.
Need to stay focused.
I know there are some additional items we can probably grab here. If I can grab them, great. If I can't grab them, it's not the end of the world. I mostly wanted that for the light armor, if anything, because I can give that to Zyron after this. Right, here we go.
Damn you.
Give him a smick. Nice! Shadowheart hit something! Revelation! Oh, good dodge. You didn't even have Vicious Mockery on you. That was very good. That was also a lot of damage on the Mind Flayer. Bad times.
Into the bloody fray.
Okay. I want to do my thing, but I want to deal with him first. I love the insults from Vicious Mockery. I'm going to have a look on the mods page and see if there's a mod that anyone's put in to extend the amount of insults the characters can use with Vicious Mockery. So that'll be interesting. Great shot, Lae'zel. Okay, with Lae'zel taking that shot, we can get our first attempt of doing the cheese. The cheese, in case you didn't know, is using the command spell with Commander Zholk. You see that flaming sword that the commander's donning? You can get that sword this early on in the game. But it all relies on whether we can get command to work. And we want to do command and drop, so that he will drop his weapon. We have a 55% chance to do it, and he has high defense. Let's give it a try. We did it! First try! Okay. First try. Oh my god, we can grab his sword. Okay. Okay. Oh, I wasn't expecting it to work! All my attempts leading up to this point have not really worked. And now it has! So with that in mind, we now have access to the Everburn Blade, which early on is an incredible two-handed greatsword, which Lae'zel will definitely be donning for the majority of the early game. Oh my lord. The cheese is real.
Can carry me.
That cheese is really stinky, Stilton.
Hurry, before they strike.
Oh lord. I can't get over that. I have genuinely failed making that work multiple times. I cannot put into words how crazy excited I am to the fact that this has worked on the level that it has. Right, we are going to be using the dash command, which basically means we can use our entire turn to run around at the speed of sound. Because we need to be able to get to the console lickety-split. We've only got 13 turns to do it. So let's get a move on. Whilst we're on the way up though, if I can notice some key people or key places to go to nick stuff, I will nick stuff.
Keep going.
It's also very good that this early on I picked up the sword and not Lae'zel, and you'll understand why later. Meanwhile, he's now resorting to fist fighting a Mind Flayer, and I don't think he's spec'd to be a monk. Yeah, I will probably be using Vicious Mockery a lot in this run, because it's just a great cantrip. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but that's not the point. The point of being able to give your opponents disadvantage on attacks, which heightens the chance of them being able to miss, is just fantastic. Having that ability is great. Okay, let's give you a smick. Oh, very good. Imp down. Can I reach? Ooh, I can reach the imp. Shadowheart. Yay, she hit again. If you're wondering why I'm excited for that, Shadowheart has a reputation for missing a lot. Ooh. Oh, and there's my reaction. Let's see if it works so we can knock a bear prone. Nope. Okay. Didn't work this time round, sadly. And because we used our reaction, there was no attack of opportunity against the imp. So... you know what? I think I'll just go for the straightforward attacks. Yeah, very good. Now, if I pressure this imp, I believe... I want to say that gives me advantage on attacking him. No, I think it only gives me advantage if I'm attacking from behind. I think it's like a flanking maneuver. But it's fine. So, you know what? If I can reach it, let's get Lae'zel to turn the transponder on. Here we go.
The Helm's alien transponder. You made it in time.
Why? I don't know about you guys that have also played Baldur's Gate 3, but every time I see this scene, I don't know why, it instantly makes me think of the Emperor's New Groove and pull the lever, Crunk! Oh no. Do. Red dragon. Oh, that's not very nice. I'm trying to get out of here. So, I think it's explained later on where we are currently on the Nautilus. Because the Nautilus effectively has the power to travel between planes. And the stars, I believe, as well. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Avernus. If you are not well versed in Dungeons & Dragons terminology, or the names of places in Dungeons & Dragons, Avernus is effectively D&D hell. You also notice for some of the loading screens have new artwork as well, thanks to a mod that I've used, so hopefully we get to see some of these as we go along, because these are incredible. I'm just hoping these are not AI generated. If someone can let me know in the comments as we're going through the series, if these are AI generated in any capacity, I will turn them off. Because I do not want to endorse AI art on this channel as a big thing for me. Incoming! And who's looking out? Oh. We have onlookers. Oh! Oh! Best girl. Best girl. Oh, this is why I'm happy doing an evil run. Best girl. You don't know her yet, unless you pay Baldur's Gate 3, but trust me, best girl. Oh, I can't wait for that part of the game. It'll be a while yet. Because I'll explain to you. I'm gonna be doing recording sessions in, well, sessions. But the sessions we're gonna have very strict objectives to uphold. Nothing too crazy like, oh, can we complete Act 1 in one session? That's not my point. I want to basically do objectives like get this character, get that character, do a run around, get the main characters, unlock this, unlock that. If it gets to a point where I don't have a lot of straightforward objectives to do, or there are a bunch of mini objectives that only take 5 minutes, I'll just set a timer for like half an hour and do a half-hour recording and see how we go. Or maybe an hour long. We'll see how we go. But we survived! That's good, isn't it? It's very good. Now we can actually play the game. Oh, my head. That's the last time I travelled through Intergalactic Express. Now where the hell am I?
You half expected your memories to return once you were free of the Mind Flayer ship. But your past is still an aching void. If you don't find a way to remove the tadpole burrowed in your brain soon, your future will be as blank as your past. Your head whispers vengeance. You cannot wait to slice your way forth, seeking whatever wrought this tragedy upon you.
Away! We have reached the ravaged beach. Son of a beach!
Can't slow down.
No, that's terrible. I'm sorry. That is really terrible of me.
Drink in the pungent corpse. Since you awoke on the ship, your mind has been cold and empty, but something stirs. With your hands close to this body, you know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face.
This death, this corpse. I don't understand why, but I find it intriguing. It satiates me.
This feels like home. There is something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart.
And so, that's the interesting thing with Dark Urge. We're going to have a few interesting tidbits like that happen throughout the playthrough. If you've never played as Dark Urge, I highly suggest you do. But I would also recommend maybe not touching Dark Urge until you've at least done Act 1 as a different character, whether that's an origin character or your own custom character, just saying. Oh look, there's Shadowheart. You taking a nap, are you, elf girl? What is that artifact? I wonder. No one's looking. Maybe it can be mine. Shit. I'm sorry. No.
What are you doing?
Ah, come on. I've got to. I can't do 2. That's way too obvious. I was checking if you were alive, of course.
I'm alive, yes. Thank you for the concern. And speaking of...
Because we're definitely going with the
How are we
idea of
alive?
deceptive evil with this version of Zyron, not... I'm gonna kill the world! Like, not that kind of Zyron. That's a more bloodthirsty, chaotic evil. I'm going more lawful evil on this run, as best as I can. Oh, yo, I can actually do a bard-specific thing. Perhaps it was some dramatically timed divine intervention.
The divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible.
Do you have any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
We? You want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Alright. Let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Okay, and Shadowheart joins the party yet again. There are some things that Shadowheart has that I think she wants to put on, such as this light crossbow. That's going to be great. And she has leather armor, which I'm going to put on because I believe, yes, I am proficient in light armor. So I'm going to look a bit stupid. But I might just dye this outfit when I get into camp for the first time because, yeah, it's kind of dumb. Base color scheme is not what I'm looking for. So yeah, before we go any further, I'm going to stop the recording in just a moment. But first, we have something important to do. It's level up time. Yes, we are both level 2. And you will notice one of the mods is going to be obvious here, which is a new feat. Normally you don't get a new feat every level. I did put on the mod, which was feat at every level. This is why I'm saying we're starting off on the difficulty that we are, and if a feat every level starts making us insanely OP, I will up the difficulty, so do not worry. So far in my testing, it hasn't made us OP. It's still down to luck of the rolls and doing what you can to gain as much advantage as you can over your opponent, so there's still a lot of strategy over it. It's not a matter of, oh, I have 10 million feats! I am now God! No. It's not like that. Anyway, let's have a look at our level 2. We get another level 1 spell stop. We have Jack of all trades. Your vast experience makes you more likely to succeed in any undertaking. Add half of my proficiency bonus, rounded down, to ability checks for you are not proficient in. Very handy. Very, very handy for a bard. And we also get Song of Rest. And we are revitalized as though we would have taken a short rest without actually taking a short rest, which is really good. And that's only an action, so that's really, really good. I believe you can only do that once per long rest, I believe. But it's really good. Song of Rest is excellent in this game. Yep, we gained a new spell that we actually have permanently onto our spell list as well. We can replace the spell we don't like, and new feats, so let's get that sorted. Spelly, spells. Charm Person I like, but not this early. Thunderwave might be handy now, because I was in melee combat quite a bit. And Zyron is definitely more of a melee guy than he is a ranged guy. No, actually. My original version of Zyron was more ranged based. Maybe we do, for the Drow version of Zyron, maybe we do make him more melee orientated. So maybe with that in mind, we actually do get Thunderwave. Because Thunderwave, in case you don't know what it does, 2d6, no, we'll also say 2 to 16 damage, 2d8 thunder, and we release a wave of thunderous force that pushes away all creatures and objects, which is on, and if they succeed on a save, they still take half damage. It's useful, it pushes people away, you can do some really crazy stuff with that later on in the game as well. And I think one of the things I want to get this early on is Warcaster. Gain advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. This is going to be very handy for my concentration spells. And I can use a reaction to cast Shocking Grasp at a target moving out of melee range, which is really nice. So that's going to help me very early on. Especially with bards having a lot of concentration spells, it's going to be handy. As for Shadowheart, don't get used to Shadowheart being a cleric. Shadowheart's going to be changed. But I'm not telling you what the changes are going to be. You're just going to have to wait. But if you still want to vote on what you would like the other characters to be changed into class-wise, please keep commenting on these videos until I do that recording session where we do a huge respec. And when we are going to do that recording session, I will make it known on all of my socials as well as the episode beforehand, so you are aware that it is coming. But in the meantime, whilst we're leading up to that point, if you do want to see these characters in any wacky or confusing class combos, let me know in the comments, because I will put them into consideration. Now, for Shadowheart, as a level 2 cleric, she is part of a trickery domain with Shar, which is a little bit of a spoiler because, well, you're not supposed to learn it in story until later, but there it is. She gets Turn Undead, which is cool. And she also gets Invoke Duplicity. Distract your enemies with an illusion within 3 meters of the illusion. Attack rolls have advantage for you and your allies. Handy. Prepared spells, we've already changed them up, but we do get an extra spell slot. Don't like Cure Wounds because it's touchy-feely range, as I like to call it. Touchy-feely range. But I do like Inflict Wounds, because being able to inflict death is always nice. Now, as I said, feat-wise on Shadowheart, I'm not going to do a lot of this early on until we respec her, but I at least want to make her somewhat decent, so what I'm going to do... what is it that I normally do with her until we respec? Ah, that's it. I normally give her Shield Master. +2 to Dexterity saving throws while wearing a shield, which technically she has. And then if a spell forces you to roll a dex save, you can use your reaction and use the shield itself. Take half damage on a failed saving throw, and on a success you don't take any damage at all. But its Shield Master is very good if you are doing a shield build in general. But I don't know, I think early on just to help with her stats, because look at her. This is why she doesn't hit very well. 13 in strength, 13 in dex, meaning she only has a +1 in strength and dexterity. Not good. Let's fix that. 14 in strength, and it's just per wisdom to 18, so she's actually somewhat good. There you go, that should make her at least a little bit better and a little bit more playable. So this is going to be the end of episode 1. We have begun the game. Zyron is here with Shadowheart. Where are we? Where is Lae'zel, the Githyanki? And who else was on the Nautilus that we might bump into? There's only one way to find out. Remember to tune in next time for the next installment of Baldur's Gate 3. If there is anything you would like to see in the future, be it classes, be it other wacky choices you want me to make or anything along those lines, bear in mind we are doing an evil playthrough and there will be events in the near future that may make you sad. But vote. Keep voting in the comments for what classes you would like our main party members to become once they join the squad. And until next time, stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay explosive. See you, folks.